The woman drags her second daughter onto the streets to beg every single day, but her eldest daughter is in charge of a conglomerate worth trillions of US dollars. However, this is not because the woman favors one child over another. It's because the eldest daughter was accepted into a top overseas university 10 years ago. But right after she graduated, she was threatened by a corporation, and she was forced to sign a 10-year non-disclosure agreement. During the confidentiality period, the eldest daughter, Lisa, was not allowed to return home. What she never expected was that when her contract finally expired and she returned to her country, she saw a mother who had gone blind and a younger sister who had lost her sanity. Just as Lisa was feeling confused about all this, the woman who had returned with the village chief's younger son, Jack, immediately slapped Lisa hard across the face. Because 10 years ago, when Lisa had just been admitted to a foreign university, she urgently needed $200,000 for tuition. In order to send her to school, Lisa's father had no choice but to agree to let the village chief reclaim his land, hoping to receive compensation for the land acquisition. But the village chief took their compensation money for himself, simply because he had no son. To make sure Lisa could go to school, the father could only kneel in front of the village chief's eldest son, James, begging him to return the money. Instead, he was humiliated by James. Seeing this, the father had no choice but to confront the village chief. But the village chief pulled out a debt agreement, claiming that there was no way he would return the money, but he could lend him $200,000. Staring at the agreement in his hands so that Lisa could attend college, the father had no choice but to sign it. But in order not to worry Lisa, he lied and told her that she was the village's only international student, and that the village chief, in order to nurture talent, had voluntarily lent the money. But on the second day after Lisa went abroad, James showed up with a group of people and smashed their home. The father immediately tried to stop them, but James pulled out the debt agreement at that moment, claiming that the $200,000 was the money they got from selling the house. Only then did the father realize that he had been deceived by the village chief. Their real goal was to seize the old house left behind by his ancestors. But James had no intention of letting them go. He immediately tried to drive them out. The younger daughter, Laura, tried to stop, but instead she was bullied by them. James even stated that if Laura was willing to become his mistress, he could leave the house to Laura's father. Seeing this, the parents immediately tried to stop him, but James refused to back down and smugly told them that even if Lisa graduated and returned home, she would still just be an ordinary employee at a regular company. After that, he tried to lay his hands on Laura. For the sake of his daughter, the father once again knelt down and begged the village chief to spare them. But the village chief lied, saying that the house had originally been given to the man by his grandfather, and now it should be returned to him. Hearing this, the father immediately tried to argue back, because they had lived there for nearly 100 years. The house had been passed down from their ancestors and could not possibly belong to the village chief. Seeing this, the village chief realized the man would not follow his plan, so he resorted to force. He drove the family of 3 out of the village. After leaving the village, in order to survive, the 3 of them could only live in an abandoned shack outside the village. Meanwhile, Lisa knew that it had not been easy for her parents to send her to school, so she studied even harder. She quickly became the top student at the academy and caught the attention of Wayne, the heir to the world's leading financial conglomerate. She became the investment department manager of the top conglomerate, but the only condition was that Lisa had to sign a 10-year confidentiality agreement with Wayne. In return, Wayne offered $1 million annual salary, along with shares in the company. In order to give her parents a wealthy life, Lisa had no choice but to agree. Over the next 10 years, Lisa quickly became someone universally recognized in the business world as the world's #1 investor. During those 10 years, Lisa sent $100,000 back home every month, hoping her parents could use the money to live a better life. What she didn't know was that the village chief took all the money before her parents could get it and forged her father's handwriting, telling Lisa not to come home, claiming that everything was fine and that Lisa only needed to keep sending money on time each month. In reality, Lisa's parents could only survive by begging and were humiliated by the villagers every single time. Completely unaware of the truth, Lisa met Jack abroad, who had also been admitted to an overseas school. Thinking of the village chief's so-called support, Lisa treated Jack as her only student and taught him all of her investment experience. 10 years later, the confidentiality agreement finally came to an end. But as soon as Lisa returned home, she was so shocked by what she saw that she stood frozen in place.